She's suffering in silence, but why? What truly happened to Katie Louise after her dreamlike wedding to Jang Ki? While fans celebrated their love story, few knew about the emotional battles quietly unfolding behind closed doors. Was the spotlight too bright? Or did the pressure of fame weigh heavier than expected? Red Carpet Revealed is here to uncover the hidden truths, the quiet tears, and the reality behind the romance. Let's dive in, starting now. When Jang Ki let those words slip during an emotional interview last week, no one expected the wave of shock, heartbreak, and fierce public debate that would follow. To most fans, his marriage to Katie Louise Saunders seemed like a cinematic dream come true, a cross-cultural romance between a Korean superstar and a European beauty, complete with a quiet wedding and the birth of their child. But the truth, now coming to light, is far from the perfect picture. Behind the red carpets, fan chants, and photo ops, Katie Louise was drowning in silence. And no one saw it coming. The mask of a perfect life begins to crack. It was supposed to be a light-hearted promotional interview. Jang Ki, fresh off the success of his latest drama, sat relaxed on set, until a question about married life turned the atmosphere heavy. "Katie's strong," he began, "but there are days I look at her and I know, this isn't the life she thought she was signing up for." He didn't elaborate. He didn't need to. Within minutes, clips of the interview exploded across social media. Netizens from Seoul to Sao Paulo watched and rewatched the moment his eyes dropped and his voice cracked. Suddenly, the world saw not just a devoted husband, but a man quietly carrying the weight of a truth he could no longer hide. Life in Korea, more than a culture shock. In the days following the interview, a clearer picture emerged, one that's raising difficult questions about the price of fame, love, and identity in South Korea's intense entertainment landscape. Katie, a British-Italian former actress, had already stepped away from the spotlight when she met Jang Ki. But once news of their relationship broke, everything changed. She was thrust into a country where her every move was watched, dissected, and often criticized. "People don't understand how hard it is to adapt here." A mutual friend of the couple, Katie wasn't just adjusting to a new culture, she was adjusting to being watched 24/7. Her social media was scrutinized. Her wardrobe choices sparked debate. Entire video essays were made about her not smiling enough, or not knowing Korean customs. Worse still, some anti-fans began a cruel smear campaign, accusing her of being a freeloader or marrying for status, accusations completely unfounded but deeply damaging. She received messages telling her to leave Korea. Some were terrifying. The Insider added, "The burden of being Mrs. Jang Ki, Jang Ki, who has always maintained a clean and respectful image, reportedly did everything he could to shield his wife. He turned down overseas appearances. He insisted on private family time. He even reduced his public interviews for a while. But as his schedule filled with projects, some of them international, Katie's isolation deepened. She felt like a ghost," said one of Katie's longtime friends via a private statement. "She couldn't walk outside without cameras. She couldn't meet friends without rumors. Even her parenting was judged. And the saddest part? She never complained publicly. Not once. She wanted to support Jang Ki. She believed in his dream. But no one asked about hers." The friend added, "A nation reacts, support, backlash, and a divided public." As the revelation rippled across headlines, the Korean public responded with mixed emotions. While many flooded Jang Ki's fan cafe with messages of empathy and encouragement, others questioned why the couple hadn't spoken up sooner. "Is she really suffering? Or is this a PR move?" one harsh comment read. But many others came to Katie's defense. Prominent celebrities like actress Kim Tae-ri and singer IU posted cryptic messages about emotional labor and being unseen beside the spotlight, which fans interpreted as quiet support for Katie. Mental health organizations seized the moment to call out the lack of emotional support available to foreign spouses of celebrities. "Katie's case is just the tip of the iceberg," said Dr. Yoon Hae-jin, a psychologist. "This is a systemic issue. Foreign women marrying into Korean fame often lose their voice, their space, and even their sense of identity. Following the media storm, Jang Ki and Katie have remained silent. Paparazzi photos show their home heavily guarded, with rumors swirling that the couple may relocate, either to Italy or the UK, in the coming months. Close sources confirm that the decision is not yet final, but there is growing concern for Katie's mental health and their family's need for privacy. Jang Ki is protective. If he feels Korea isn't safe for Katie, he won't hesitate to leave it behind, said an insider from his agency. We spoke with clinical psychologists, sociologists, and veteran journalists to understand the deep-rooted issues that foreign women like Katie often face in Korea's entertainment-fueled society. South Korea has made huge strides in globalization, says Dr. Min Ji-yeon, a clinical psychologist specializing in cross-cultural identity. But when it comes to who gets to belong, the lines are still tightly drawn. She explains that when a foreign woman marries a Korean celebrity, particularly a beloved male figure, public scrutiny intensifies. Fans have parasocial relationships with these stars. The moment a woman, especially a non-Korean, becomes part of that equation, she's often seen as a threat, not a person. The result? Intense online harassment, impossible beauty standards, and expectations of perfection that no real human could fulfill. Professor Han Eun-kyung, a sociologist at Seoul National University, points to a dangerous cultural subtext. There's a belief that a foreign woman should be grateful to be accepted into Korean society, especially if she marries someone famous. This implicit idea, she says, leads to asymmetrical power dynamics. When she speaks Korean imperfectly, she's mocked. If she doesn't behave according to Korean norms, she's seen as disrespectful. Every step is a test she must pass, not just as a wife, but as a representative foreigner, under public surveillance. Katie Saunders is not the first. Past cases, like the wives of sports stars, CEOs, and actors, have quietly endured waves of criticism for being too Western, not submissive enough, or simply not Korean. The role of online culture cannot be ignored. Lee Da-hai, a journalist at Media Watch Korea, has covered celebrity relationships for over a decade. She explains, the internet in Korea has become more aggressive, less forgiving. The public feels entitled to comment on everything, from a celebrity's spouse's looks to their parenting style. Platforms like Naver, Dom, and even anonymous forums like the Ku or DC Inside host threads that dissect foreign spouses' every move. There were threads just about Katie's posture, her outfits, even the way she held her child was being criticized. While these comments may seem petty on the surface, their emotional toll is devastating, particularly for someone unfamiliar with the language or cultural codes. A significant part of this pressure, experts argue, comes from the media itself. For years, Korean dramas and reality shows have built the narrative of an ideal wife, selfless, quiet, modest, supportive, but never demanding. This image is not just fiction, says Dr. Jung Soo-bin, a media critic. It seeps into real life. And when a foreign woman enters the frame, she's expected to fit that mold instantly, while also being exotic, graceful, fluent in Korean, and low-key. It's a contradiction, and no one can win. In essence, the media creates a standard of femininity that is both unattainable and weaponized. And foreign wives are judged against it the harshest.